Hi friends, thank you for watching this video. In this video, I am going to explain how to become a registered valuer for plant and machinery. It's very useful for engineering graduates because many people think that after engineering you don't have much option. You have to do MS, but there is an option for you to become a registered valuer for plant and machinery. Please see this video fully, and if you like, share and subscribe it. Registered valuer is a new profession. Many people don't know, and even you would have not heard before, because this course got recognition in recent valuation rule. If you become a registered valuer for plant and machinery, and you can value the plants, machineries, and the assets that are related to this. This will be very useful because you can practice as an independent professional, or even you can engage with third party professionals and start your practice. It's a good earning opportunity, and please do not lose this golden opportunity. In this slide, I'm going to discuss about qualifications to become a registered valuer. As I said, engineering is the basic qualification, but still not all engineering streams are eligible. For example, only mechanical engineering, electrical or electronic engineering, or chemical, textile, leather engineering, or even aeronautical engineering can become a registered valuer. But if you are a software engineer, then you are not eligible to become a registered valuer for plant and machinery. Post qualification experience of 5 years is required. That is, from the date of you become graduation, you should have 5 years of work experience or even a practical experience. If you hold a postgraduate or equivalent degree, then you need 3 years of post graduation experience. The post graduation is also in the same stream mentioned above. If you have any PG degree in the above stream, you are eligible. If you clear the examination for plant and machinery, you can only value plant and machinery. You cannot do valuation for land and building or securities and financial assets. There is a separate exam and qualification for these two assets. Let's further discuss about the exam pattern. How the examination will be conducted. First of all, like an institute, for chartered accountants and company secretaries, you have ICSA and ICAI. Similarly, here also there is an institute mechanism is there, which is called Registered Valuer Organization. In simply, we call it as RVO. I have given you what are the list of RVOs available where you can go and register yourself. And once you register there, it is mandatory that you have to go for 50 hours training. This institute itself, that RVO itself, will provide you a 50 hours training with certificate. This certificate is mandatory for you to appear for the examination. Without this certificate, you cannot appear for the examination. These examinations are online and conducted by NISM, which is a national stock exchange company. This NISM only conducts the valuers examination. As I said, it is an online exam where you have to appear at the NISM center and appear online. So it is a choose the best answer method. You need not write, you need not calculate, or you need not have any other than you have to just simply select the best answer. The fifth step is, once you complete your examination, you have to apply for IBBI membership. And once you got the IBBI membership, your RVO, that is your where you have registered, that institute will give you a COP training. And once you completed the COP training, from that day onwards, you become a registered valuer. This is very easy and a very valuable profession. RVOs. RVOs are the institutes that gives you 50 hours of training. These 50 hours of training are mandatory, as I said, to make you eligible for examination. There are 12 RVOs as of today. I have given some list of 6 RVOs here. In addition to this, you have Institute of Company Secretaries, Cost Accountants, and Chartered Accountants Institute also. But before you register with any RVO, ensure that that RVO provides the courses for plant and machinery, and they got recognition from IBBI. I have given the link to know what are the list of RVOs that provides 50 hours of training. This will helpful for you to make further research and start studying. Another key information is fee structure. Many people think that registered valuer will be a costly course, but actually this is one of the low cost course, but where you can earn in lakhs. Before I discuss about the fee structure, I like to just explain how much will be the earnings. If you are a registered valuer for plant and machinery, and if you get an opportunity to value some plant and machinery of a manufacturing unit, depends on the size of the manufacturing unit, you can charge the fees. So minimum from 20,000 rupees, you can even charge 50,000 or 5 lakh or even 10 lakh rupees. So there is no limit for you to charge. It depends on the client and the amount of asset that you are going to value. So the fee structure is very simple. First you have to enroll yourself with any of the RVOs which I mentioned in the previous slide. Once you register yourself, you have to attend 50 hours of training, and each RVO charge different fees. I have given some basic information about the fees. There may be small change in this fee structure, and you can inquire with your RVO. Once you complete your 50 hours of training, you have to attend online exam. This exam fees is 1500 rupees per attempt. There is no limit in number of attempts, and if you attempt once and if you get fail, then your fees will not be refunded. Again, for the next attempt, you have to pay another 1500 rupees. So at the earliest you complete, the more you save. Examination pattern. This is very important. First of all, the examination is very simple and easy. It is online exam, and it's choose the best answer. You will get a question along with 4 options, and you have to choose the best answer or not the correct answer. There is a key difference between the best answer and the correct answer. If it is correct answer, then out of 4, 1 should be the correct one. If it is the best, it need not be 1 alone, which means out of 4 options, you might think that 2 answers are correct, but out of 2, we have to choose the best one for the given question. So there is some trick in choosing the answers. I will prepare another video on how to clear the examination and what are the techniques you should follow during the online examination. In a separate video you can watch that. The examination carries a 2.25% of negative marking for every one wrong answer. The pass score is 60 marks. After deducting your negative scores, you should score 60 marks to become a registered valuer. The examinations, as I said, conducted by NISM, and you can go and check the NISM website. I have given the link here for appearing the examination. And you can first, you have to just open your link, and then you have to sign in using your is a user ID and password. Then you can make payment and book your slot for examination. Syllabus. Actually, syllabus is for 100 marks, and these are the main highlights of the syllabus I have given. Detailed syllabus, I will give you a link in the comments. You can go through this link. There is 3 mark for principles of economics, which is the microeconomics, and you have macroeconomics. I know most of the engineering graduates may not be familiar with some of the syllabus here, but these syllabus are included because, yeah, to become a valuer, you should know some of these information, and this knowledge is very useful when you do actual valuation. That's why they have included economics, and basic accounts is very much required, and law. To ask an engineer to study law is always difficult, I know, but it is mandatory for you to study law as well to become a registered valuer. Laws like Companies Act, IBC, and even property related laws and the registered valuer rules you have to study. I suggest engineering graduates to go for a class so that you can learn something about legal papers. And these statistics, environmental issues and valuation might be easy for you because statistics that you would have studied in your engineering course. Again, this is syllabus continuation. Some of the syllabus are cost approach, valuation approach, and income approach. These 3 subjects are very important because this will help you even in your practical life. And you can also learn about physical verification, professional ethics and conducts. This comes under your valuation standards. What are the ethical standards for registered valuer? So again, I suggest you to please check the full syllabus from the comments. I have given in the comments the full link. Friends, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe and share. And if you want any further information or on classes for becoming a registered valuer, please mail us. We will be able to help you. I hope engineers will become a better valuer. Thank you so much.